Uh, Today, there is going to start webinar series. This is a new chapter in the history of DARE. I congratulate all our members, DARE members, Pramila, Dr. Yogesh, who got such a new idea in their mind that now we should present all these webinars. This is the first webinar. So all our mentors will be presenting one webinar every month. So this is our plan. Let's see how much it is successful. This is especially for our young brigade, those who are very young, they have a big, bright future. So we are starting for them. I congratulate Dr. Pramila, my dear team, Dr. Yogesh Malhotra, and all our members for starting this new venture. So today is our first day. This is my first webinar as well. So let's not waste time because this is only for 50 minutes. So I am going to present a case of psoriasis. Everyone knows psoriasis is such a big problem which is very difficult to cure. But homeopathy has potential to cure all such diseases which in other pathies, they only suppress it. My funda in treating a patient, in curing a patient is very simple. I believe in simplicity. I don't go for difficult, big words and big, difficult things. I just think that a patient comes, whatever he says, we note down that thing, we take out the code, and we select the rubrics, and medicine is selected. This is very simple. I believe that if core is covered, core means the basic theme of that patient's problem is covered, and proper, appropriate rubrics are selected. This leads to a cure. Many times I have seen that such big problems which we never think of curing, we can never think of being treated, being cured, we get just treated with the simple medicines like belladonna, like arsenic, like aconite. So today, my first simple rule is be simple and be attentive. I follow Dr. Sagal's system. I started this system in 1992. Since then, I have never looked back. Something little bit about this system, what this system is. It doesn't mean whatever patient is saying, you are noting down everything. You are making rubrics of everything. No, this is not that. That whatever he says, you are making rubric. No, just take a big case, big or small. Take a case, note down everything in your own language, note down. Then think about the things which he said. Dr. Sehgal believes in three things, PPP, that is present, predominant, and persistent. In every case, whatever is present, whatever is predominant, and whatever is persistent, constantly going on. So this is what our theory is. Many people use metaphors. I use very little. I believe in direct, using these rubrics directly. So let's not waste time. Let's start a case of psoriasis. This is the case of a woman, beautiful, very elegant, a very, what can we say? Well dressed in a beautiful creased sari. She came to me. She was about 45 years old. She came to me and she said that she has this problem from about when she was only 10, 11 years old. At present now, she was 45 years. So the problem was about 35 years old problem of psoriasis, which at the age of 12, 3, she suffered from this problem. Then she had this is just a small history, some typhoid, some paratyphoid. It started on her foot, and someone gave her Bacnovate. She applied there. It remained okay for some time. When the effect of medicine gets over, it again appeared. In 91, 92, she had many problems, and basically she knew a lot in homeopathy. She said me that she has taken so many medicines. Even she has taken syphilinum 10 one dose, for which she got rid of this problem for some time, but again it started. She had a strong history of cancer. Her father, her grandfather, her uncle, all they suffered from cancer. She said she has taken Briania, she has taken Naxvomica, she told about 10, 12 medicines. She has taken Ferramphos, Oconite, Rustox, Staphysagrilla, and Pulsatilla, and ammonium mure, and Apismal. She has taken all these medicines. And she knew everything about all these medicines. She was very intelligent. Her mother-in-law was a homeopathic doctor who gave medicine to people. So she said she has already shown to many renowned homeopathic doctors too. She had taken so many medicines. Now, my history starts. When she came, she was with her husband, and my husband, Dr. Avtar Singh, was also with me. Look how she started. She is a beautiful young woman at that time. She was very good looking, a very soft spoken, and her control on her English, her flow in English, it was damn good. She said, Doctor, I feel there is some disturbance in my vital force which I am not able to regain. This part of eruptions looks too bad. I always cover my affected parts. I fear it might aggravate, or it may aggravate, it may become cancer, because my father, my grandfather, my uncle, they all had cancer, and they all went off just because of cancer. So I don't want to become incapacitated for rest of my life. I had a very beautiful, a very pleasant, very happy childhood, and a very comfortable life in my childhood. But now this disease, it doesn't go. I have fear from the very beginning, since I had this problem. Now, after listening this, don't make rubrics that it will increase, write down extra years. No, don't write anything that her father, grandfather, her uncle, they all died of cancer. So uh, you are to write that she has fear of cancer. No, don't write that. Just listen to her, what she is saying. This is very, very important. I have a fear that my disease might increase. I have this type of fear from the very beginning. I have fear of misery, fear of injury, and fear of even injections. If some child goes out and he crosses the door, I always say, please go properly. Don't get hurt by the door. कि कहीं दरवाजे में आपका हाथ ना आ जाए. इस तरह के उसको, she had fears. She had no fear of dark, no fear of ghosts, no fear of, but there was only one fear, that fear of being hurt. कि कहीं चोट ना लग जाए. कहीं कोई भी जब कोई क्रॉस करता था कि कहीं चोट ना लग जाए. कोई बच्चा है, कोई बड़ा है, ध्यान से जाना. She used to say, ध्यान से जाना, कहीं चोट ना लग जाए. If she said, I feel if someone goes out of my house, I always say them, return safe. Though I had such a big problem, but I'm hopeful that I will recover. I don't want to be dependent upon others. I don't want to be handicapped. I don't want to be pitied कि कोई मेरे ऊपर तरस खाए. I have fear of descending and falling. This is what she was. I didn't ask any question. This was all what she was explaining. When she was talking about all these fears, I asked her, do you have some logic behind all these fears? Did you have some relation with all these fears? She said, no, there is no such logic. There is no mishappening. This is in my nature that I'm this kind of person. Then usually we ask about the nature of the patient regarding anger. She said, no, I don't get irritated. I don't get much angry. I am a peaceful person. I love peace. I want to be cheerful. I want to remain happy. I don't get angry. Even if I get angry, I don't show it to anyone. I don't say anything to anyone. She explained everything in a beautiful way. I become more irritable than being angry. She said कि मुझे कभी कभी थोड़ा खिज आती है, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मुझे बहुत गुस्सा आ जाता है. I never use harsh word even with my servants and try to make them understand their mistake. अगर किसी ने कोई गलती की है तो मैं ऐसे आगे से ऐसे नहीं करना. Not like this that shouting on the servants or ऊंची ऊंची बोलना. No. And she said, I don't like shouting. I don't like even someone shouting on me too. बिल्कुल भी नहीं. I can't tolerate ये शोर मचाना, गुस्से होना, ऊंची ऊंची बोलना. I don't like this. I cannot tolerate if my husband gets angry and shouts on me. I start weeping. I don't say anything. I don't shout. I can't tolerate this noise. I remain quiet. I cannot show anger to others. I want a peaceful life. I want a cheerful life. I never let my anger flare up. I don't create any violence. I have irritability. I can't tolerate this noise. Due to irritability, I want to scream, but I cannot. I don't want to. This is perhaps because of my social status, or and I don't like those people who make lot of noise and they shout at their, even my husband shout at servants, so I don't like that. This is the big problem for me. We have to see one thing. Wherever patients stress on one thing, we should underline all those things. She stressed on this thing that she cannot tolerate shouting, noise. So we should underline this, that every time she explained in this way. She said, I'm very fastidious, very, very fastidious. I like cleanliness. I don't take rest until all the things are in proper order. I want everything at its place. I can't remain idle. I'm always engrossed in some work. And her house was so beautifully decorated, which I saw when I went to her house. Though there are servants in our house, but I do most of my work myself, she said. I can't bear anything wrong. When she said she is fastidious, don't note down that she is fastidious. This is just, she is saying. This is only we people, we have to note down what is important, whether we have to take this or not. So next she said, I cannot bear anything wrong. When someone says something wrong to me, I get hurt. I cannot forget that. I have no jealousy, no revenge, but I don't talk to that person. I leave that person. I cannot forgive a lie. That person falls in my eyes, but I never shout or get angry. Then she said, my trouble starts in the evening. You know, when she came, she had this much big swelling on her foot with eruption on at least this much part, over 8-9 inches along with her foot. It was totally full of eruptions. It was swollen and the eruption was too bad. She said, my problem starts in the evening. I am sleepless all night. I think why night comes? Why there is night? How will it pass? There is something in between me and light. And I want to tear that. I want to get rid of obstacles. I want light. I know that there is light behind this dark night because I don't like night. There is always aggravation at night. So I want that I should tear this darkness to get that light. Now you all must be thinking of light desired for. This was not the light desired for. What she was talking? She said, I want light because that is already there. There is an obstacle between the light and me, and I want to tear that thing to get that light. This I'll tell you which rubric covers this. This was not light desire. Next, there were so many things she told about her problem. It was a very long case. It took about 2 hours. She spent 2 hours with us, and the case was over. When I came back home, I reported everything. I took all these things. When I saw the remedies were again arsenic, phosphorus, sulfur, natramure, which she had already taken. So my mind was no, I want such medicine which should cover her core and which should give her relief just by one dose. I was not happy with my repertorization because all polygressed remedies came. So I thought, no, this is not the way. By chance, you know what happened? This was in the morning, and in the evening, she rang us. Her phone came and she said, Doctor, can you come to me tomorrow? I want to tell you something else. I said, okay, we will come. She said, I'll send you my car and you please come, and I want to tell you something very special. We said, okay. We went to her place. It was about 12:30 at that time, and she was in hurry to tell us something. She said, when this problem increases. This problem increases when my mother-in-law comes. Now she's about to come after 8-10 days, and this has started increasing. It becomes worse when she comes. So she is responsible for my disease. I have a huge fear of my mother-in-law. She is the only one factor that aggravates my problem. She has tormented me a lot. Although she shows herself to be a very pleasant lady, but she instigates my husband against me. She irritates me by saying that I have not taught anything to my daughters. She lies and she fabricates lies. She is jealous of me. She has never spoken a single kind word to me. My husband also listens to him. He doesn't listen to me. It hurts me. I have I have to show a good relation with her in front of all, but internally I hate that woman. My problem starts when these emotional type of disturbances of relations happen. I think this is the only reason behind my problem. Now I could understand why ammonium mure was given to her by one of the doctors, because resentment to mother-in-law. But here it was more deeper. Not only resentment, she was the reason behind her problem. Though she had this problem when she was 10 years old, but when her mother-in-law comes, her problem increases. She said, my mother-in-law torments me up to such an extent that me and my husband, we live separately in this, under one roof, in this house, because she instigates him so much that he doesn't sleep in my bedroom. I sleep in another bedroom and he sleeps in another. This was a torture for me. She has tormented me. She has instigated him against me. So this was a beautiful point for me. She said, I don't take allopathic medicines because I know only homeopathy can cure and allopathy suppresses. Even she says, whenever someone comes to me for some medicine, or I see some patient suffering from skin problem, I always say him to go to a homeopath. Whenever someone is sick, I advise him to go to a homeopath. I said, why? She said, because I can't bear suffering. I can't tolerate that. I'm sympathetic to those people. And one thing more, she said, I'm sensitive to smell. I cannot bear smell of rain, smell of perspiration, even the smell of cooking food is intolerable for me. I can't tolerate that. Now my focus this was all about the case. I took out two things. Number one, the reason. I always give importance to the reasons. Here the reason is mother-in-law. What she does? She torments me. So we have a very good rubric, delusion, tormented she is. There are only two medicines. Next rubric which I took is, she said, I cannot tolerate noise. I cannot tolerate shouting. Now, earlier there was one rubric, intolerance of noise. In new repertories, that rubric is gone. This all has been added in sensitive to noise, sensitive to slightest noise, like this. But this was a beautiful rubric. This is intolerance of noise. There are 5 medicines in that. That is belladonna, ammonium mure, ignatia, china, and pital. These are 5 medicines. When I collected both of these rubrics, intolerance of noise and delusion tormented she is, there was only one medicine, and that was china. I never use china in such cases. I never use china in psoriasis. And she was it was such a big, such a difficult to cure case, 40 years standing, 35 years old. So I thought, China, how can it be China? But with open mind, I opened Perfect Materia Medica of Dr. Sagals. You won't believe, when I opened it and I read each and every rubric, it was as if for that rubric. I jumped in joy. Wow, I got the right medicine. China is her medicine. Really, this was a real happiness that came into my mind when I read whole China. There were night aggravations. There were the same restlessness whole night. She said, whole night I keep on thinking, thinking and thinking. Whole night I can't sleep. I thought these night aggravations are of arsenic, but no. She said, I can't bear the smell of this cooking food. This was arsenic or this was colchicum. No, it was there in China. I gave her China 31 dose. I just noted down all other rubrics too. And the very next morning, she called us and told that she had a sound sleep for the first time after a long, long time. This was amazing. And after a long time, I slept very well. Otherwise, every night she used to say, ये रात क्यों हुई, रात क्यों होती है, क्यों लाइट लाइट नहीं होती, क्यों लाइट चली जाती है, रात हो जाती है, क्यों होती है like this. I don't like nights, but night aggravations I saw in China. Then within a week, her ankle and her leg that reduced 50% of itching as well as swelling. In 2 months, all eruptions completely vanished with just one dose of China 30. China is nowhere in psoriasis. But when mental picture, when mind, when the core gets stuck, when we strike at the target and we hit the right target, we get the minimum and it gives us results. I have seen hundreds of such cures. So after 2 months, there was no eruption. She was able to sleep properly. There was no medicine. Now, this was a talk of 2002. 18 years have passed. She has never suffered from any eruptions again. Now, this case, this taught me China thoroughly. There was one more medicine which we will compare just now. What are other related rubrics of China? There is delusion deserted, delusion forsaken she is. When a woman's husband sleeps in one room and she sleeps in another room, this is the feeling. She is deserted, she is forsaken. Another thing, she said, I'm very fastidious, I can't sit idle. Every time I'm doing this and that. And her house was so beautifully decorated. This was much more than fastidious. This was conscientious about trifles, much more than fastidious. She was conscientious about trifles. Her choti choti cheez ki detail. And there are only few medicines in art ability. Art ability means घर को खूब अच्छी तरह से सजा के रखना, which we see in China. Whatever her look was, whatever we see in China, China has elegance. China has idealism. जो बंदा किसी को कुछ कह नहीं सकता, and she was so soft spoken. This was her idealism. She was affectionate. She was mild. We see everything in China. All these rubrics. She was affectionate. The way she was talking, it was a beautiful way. Then she said, I don't want to be incapacitated for my life. I want to be cured. I want to be treated. And I'm hopeful. For last 40 years, she is suffering from this problem and she is still hopeful. China has this rubric that she is hopeful. One thing I said you, she said, रात क्यों होती है? Why there is light? There is obstruction between light and me. What was that? That was not light desired for. She wants to, उसने कहा कि वो चीज फाड़ देना चाहती है जो मेरे और रोशनी के बीच. There is one rubric. There is a delusion, obstructed being, and China is singular there. Delusion, obstructed being. उसने बोला कि ये कर्टन्स हैं मेरे और रोशनी के बीच में, तो मेरा दिल करता है कि इन कर्टन्स को फाड़ के उधर से रोशनी ले आओ. This was delusion, obstructed being. एक उसने और बात बोली थी, that was, I can't bear any injustice with anyone. China is also an injustice cannot tolerate, cannot support. Next rubric. What is the difference in sensitive to noise and intolerance to noise? Sensitive is a big rubric. Sensitive means one immediately reacts to that thing. He's sensitive to noise. He doesn't like it. But what is intolerance? वो बर्दाश्त ही नहीं कर सकता. Intolerance to noise. बहुत ज्यादा सेंसिटिव टू नॉइस में तो 30, 40, 50 मेडिसिन है. But intolerance to noise में there are only 5 medicines. बहुत ज्यादा सेंसिटिविटी. होम्योपैथी में हमारी रेपर्टरीज में बहुत सारे ऐसी रूब्रिक्स हैं जिनके मीनिंग्स ऑलमोस्ट सेम है, बट द डिग्री इज डिफरेंट. एज वी सी, इरिटेबिलिटी, एंगर, रेज, फ्यूरी. इन सब में इरिटेबिलिटी थोड़ा सा गुस्सा आना, थोड़ी सी खिंचाना, एंड एंगर थोड़ा सा गुस्सा आ जाना, उससे थोड़ा डिग्री ज्यादा है. रेज, फ्यूरी, उससे भी बहुत ज्यादा डिग्री ज्यादा है. सो ऐसी सेंसिटिविटी में थोड़ा कम वो है, लेकिन इनटॉलरेंस में तो बर्दाश्त ही नहीं कर पाता. दिस इज इनटॉलरेंस टू नॉइज. नेक्स्ट जो उसके डर थे, फियर्स, फियर टू इवल, फियर ऑफ बीइंग हर्ट, फियर ऑफ बीइंग पिटेड. कहती आई डोंट वांट टू बी इनकैपेसिटेटेड फॉर लाइफ, के कोई मेरे ऊपर तरस खाए. नो, आई डोंट वांट दैट. दैट इज फियर ऑफ बीइंग पिटेड. फियर नाइट, एंजाइटी नाइट. आप रात के रूब्रिक्स देखिए इसके. आज घर जाके रीड दिस चाइना, माइंड पिक्चर ऑफ चाइना. फियर ऑफ नाइट, एंजाइटी नाइट, एंजाइटी मिडनाइट, restless night, bed tossing about, weeping night, theorizing night. What is theorizing night? रात को थ्योरियां बनाते रहना, बस सोची जाना, कोई मन में कुछ ना कुछ आ ही जा रहा है, सोची जाना. Restlessness night, from sleeplessness. This is all in China. Restlessness, aggravate night, bed during it. Delusion, obstructed being. इसमें एक और बात जो मैं शायद लिख नहीं पाई, उसमें था कि मैं तो इतनी इस तकलीफ से तंग आ गई हूँ कि दिल करता कि मैं आई वांट टू कमिट सुसाइड, लेकिन इतनी हिम्मत नहीं होती कि मैं मर जाऊं. सो दिस वाज इन चाइना टू. despair with pains and suicidal, but lacks courage. She said, I don't want to be pitied by anyone. This is consolation aggravate. Unfortunate feels. Delusion, unfortunate she is. Timidity, bashful in company. She doesn't like the company of others. She doesn't want to go to parties and companies. She was sensitive to moral impressions. Quiet wants to be. She said, I want to be quiet. I want to be shanti chahiye. I want to be happy. I want to be cheerful. This is a rubric, wants to be cheerful. Quiet disposition, quiet wants to be. Ideas abundant. Evening, ideas abundant. Night, theorizing and ideas abundant. So this was all about China, and she never suffered from this problem ever. There are two medicines in that delusion tormented she is. One is China, second is lysine. Lysine is quite opposite to this. We see many symptoms of this lysine. Just a minute. Yeah. In Lysen, she is also tormented. Uh, I had a beautiful case, which was my turning point when I started my practice on this system. It was a Lysen case. So what happens in Lysen? Lysen patient is very ferocious, like a mad dog. And you know what is important in that? There is lot of anger, there is lot of rage, but immediately there is repentance. Immediately one says whatever one wants to say. बोल दिया, बहुत कुछ बोल दिया, लेकिन साथ के साथ repentance बहुत ज्यादा है. This is a very important symptom of lysine, which I didn't see anything in China in this lady. Secondly, attack desire, impulse to stab his flesh with knife he holds, anger violent, speech offensive, abrupt, anger at trifles. There are so many rubrics of anger, cruelty, cursing, kill, rudeness, abusive, attack others' desire to, delusion, wrong suffered she has, anger alternating, quick repentance, and apologies, earnest apologies, rage followed by repentance. This we see in Lysin, which is absent in, though there are forsaken, uh, inserted being. There are many rubrics which are common in both of these medicines because both are tormented. So, but here in Lysin, we see anger alternating with quick repentance, rage alternating with quick repentance. There are apologies, earnest apologies, remorse, rudeness, abusiveness, and throws things at persons which we don't find in China, though there are many rubrics in China too, but not this kind of apology or repentance or impulse to stab his flesh with knife or cut, mutilate, slit, desire to. These are absent in Lysen. The personality is totally opposite. Uh, we see China with idealism, with elegance. Opposite to that, Lysen is a mad dog. Whatever a mad dog does, his behavior is like this. I think काफी टाइम भी हो गया. If anyone wants to ask any question, please come up. Some very important things to be taken care of during case history. Number one, whatever patient says himself is very important. We keep on asking questions one after another. गुस्सा बताइए, ये बताइए, टीवी अच्छा लगता है, नहीं अच्छा लगता है, क्या खाते हो, क्या पीते हो. But whatever he says himself, that is very, very important. Number two, the thing which he repeats 2 times, 3 times, that is very, very important. जो चीज वो बार बार 2-3 बार बोल रहा है, उसको कभी नहीं छोड़. Number three, the most important one, ask for every question why. If she is weeping, आप देखो कि वो कैसी बात कर रहा है जब उसको रोना आया. क्या whether he is talking about the death of someone, whether he is talking about the forsaken feeling, whether he is talking about at that time due to poor feeling, क्या ऐसी चीज थी जिसकी वजह से रोना आया. That why is very important. Why so? Why so? Why a person does? Because हमारी होम्योपैथी, सारी की सारी होम्योपैथी वाई पे डिपेंड करती है. अगर हमें वाई हमने नोट नहीं किया तो सारा, इस केस में जितना मर्जी मैं घूम लेती इधर उधर, कभी मैं चाइना तक नहीं पहुंच सकती थी. सिर्फ वो 2 चीजें, डिलीजन टॉर्मेंटेड एंड इनटॉलरेंस ऑफ नॉइस, ये 2 चीजें सिर्फ मुझे लेके गई। मैं हर अपने एक्सेप्शनली गुड केसेस में 2 चीजें बहुत देखती हूँ कि एक तो जो कोर है, अगर वहां पे आपने हिट किया तो आपने उस मेडिसिन से तो ठीक करना ही करना है, चाहे वो 30 पोटेंसी में दो, चाहे किसी भी पोटेंसी में दो। वी गिव एवरी we start every case with 30 potency, whether it is on a psychological basis, whether it is a pathological case, कोई भी है, ये हमारी एक एसोसिएशन ने बनाया हुआ है कि we start every case with 30 potency. And what I believe is, whenever a medicine is well selected, even the smallest potency acts well. This is the principle of individualization too. So, any questions? Anyone want to ask any question?
किसी की कोई क्वेरी हो तो प्लीज आस्क हर डायरेक्टली,
क्योंकि अभी हमारे पास 2-4 मिनट हैं।
Only 5 minutes are left.
हाँ जी, मैं इसीलिए कह रही हूँ कि 5 मिनट हमारे पास हैं, तो हम कोई अगर पूछना चाहता है तो यू कैन आस्क क्वेश्चंस।
अनम्यूट करो अपना।
चलो एक बात और बताती हूँ, अगर हम किसी केस में आगे नहीं बढ़ रहे तो हमें लगता है कि जो हमारी क्वेरीज हैं वो पूरी नहीं हो रही या कंप्लीट नहीं हो रही या हम सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो रहे, या पेशेंट हमें छोटा मोटा ही जवाब देता है, तो उससे एक क्वेश्चन पूछो कि से समथिंग गुड अबाउट यू, से समथिंग गुड अबाउट यू, क्या आप में कुछ अच्छी क्वालिटीज क्या है, देन ही विल स्पीक समथिंग। एंड उससे पूछो आप में कुछ बुरी जो क्वालिटीज है वो भी बताओ, वो अपने आप ही बताने लग जाएगा। कई बार बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं वैसे चुप रहते हैं, लेकिन अगर पूछो कि कोई अच्छी क्वालिटी अपने में बताओ, देन ही स्पीक्स समथिंग। सो आज ये डेयर की हिस्ट्री में आज एक नया चैप्टर ऐड हुआ है, डेयर के another feather in the cap of Dare and Pramila and Yogesh Malhotra and Dr. Manish. हम सब लोगों ने इस पे बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत की है कि हम डेयर को किसी अच्छे मुकाम तक लेके जाएं, कहीं आगे तक लेके जाएं, और उम्मीद है कि हमारा ये जो आज चैप्टर ये बिगिन हुआ है ये काफ़ी आगे तक जाएगा, और हमारी ये प्लान है कि हम हर महीने एक कोई ना कोई और डॉक्टर्स हमारे जो मेंटर्स हैं वो आए और सारे लोगों को, आप लोगों को सबको कुछ दें।
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
I am Dr. Poonam Batra. I have a question for Dr.
या
Neelam.
जी,
Dr. Neelam, ये बताइए आपने वो लिया rubric delusion that she had been tormented by her mother-in-law.
या
तो आप चाइना के बाद उसकी थिंकिंग में और उसके डिल्यूजन में क्या चेंज आया अपार्ट फ्रॉम द फिजिकल प्रॉब्लम?
मैंने जो देखा है कि उसके बाद उन्होंने मेरे कांटेक्ट में 6 महीने तो वो सीधा डायरेक्ट रहे। उनके मदर इन लॉ सिर्फ 10 दिन के लिए आते थे और 6 महीनों के बाद 8 महीनों के बाद आते थे, लेकिन बाद में मैं उनसे बहुत बार मिली, उन्होंने कभी भी उनके बारे में कुछ ऐसा नहीं बोला कि आज मैं उनसे अब परेशान हूँ या कुछ, कभी उनकी प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं बढ़ी, दोबारा कभी हुई ही नहीं उनकी प्रॉब्लम। सो कभी उन्होंने ऐसा नहीं बोला, दोबारा मैं उनसे आज तक मिलती हूँ, लेकिन कभी, अब तो उनकी 5-7 कुछ साल हो गए, उनकी डेथ भी हो गई है, लेकिन ये बात 18 साल पुरानी है, लेकिन उन्होंने कभी उनके उनको प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई, ना ही उन्होंने कभी उनके बारे में कुछ ऐसी बात बोली।
तो यू मीन टू से कि उनकी जो थिंकिंग थी अपनी मदर इन लॉ के लिए वो भी चेंज हो गई, और she stopped getting herself affected by her
हाँ
mother-in-law's
हाँ
nature
बिल्कुल,
now?
शायद वो उनसे अफेक्ट होना ही हट गया, जो उनकी अगर अफेक्ट होती तो उनकी प्रॉब्लम फिर से आती। इट्स बीन 18 years. मुड़ के दोबारा उनको कभी वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई, सिर्फ चाइना 31 डोज के बाद शी नेवर सफर्ड फ्रॉम दिस प्रॉब्लम. आज 18 साल हो गए इस बात.
Do you still see that lady?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
still
yes.
you just inquire about this thing, huh? Because I am psychological counselor
Okay,
also.
okay,
So
definitely.
I wish ki you just inquire whether
Okay.
that feeling persisted after the medicine, or she just became
Yeah,
immune to that feeling.
yeah. I
That
definitely
would
ask her.
again help, है ना?
Yeah,
That
I
would again
definitely
help
ask her.
us.
Yeah,
हाँ
I
हाँ हाँ. Thank you,
yeah,
thank you.
I'll
हाँ
definitely ask her.
हाँ हाँ.
हेलो
Okay.
हाँ जी.
हेलो मैम, गुड आफ्टरनून.
गुड आफ्टरनून अजय.
मैम मेरे को पूछना था कि जैसे आपने वो डिल्यूजन लिया था टॉर्मेंटेड वाला, तो उसमें एग्जाम्पल अगर कोई पेशेंट